Good afternoon. We are going to continue, or we are going to start a new topic. This topic is law of agency. We did law of contract. We now know what contract is. And you remember we said that the law of contract is the mother of all laws. That is where you learn the principles. And once you have learned the principles involved in law of contract, all other laws become very simple for you. And the law of agency, if you remember, we also said before we started law of contract that we have what you call commercial law. And law of contract was an example of commercial law. A second example of commercial law that we are going to learn is law of agency. The first thing is, what is agency? You see, there are certain times you want to do something, or you have to do certain things yourself, but you don't want to do those things. You want somebody to do that on your behalf. So what do? You have to grant the person authority, so that the authority you give to the person will enable the person to do that on your behalf. Maybe you want the person to dispose of an asset, or you want the person to make a contract on your behalf. You may not have the competence to do that. If I say you may not have the competence, it means that, for example, if it is contract in respect of sales of land or purchase of land, you may not know the laws concerning purchasing a piece of land. So you may have to go and see somebody who knows the law to buy the land on your behalf. So what you then do is that you give the person authority to buy the land on your behalf. Or you want somebody to sell your house, or you want a house to rent, or you want a house to be leased to you. So you go and see somebody who will do that on your behalf. That is where agency comes in. So what is that agency? Agency is a relationship. You know, there are several forms of relationships, and agency is one of those relationships. It's a relationship that exists between two parties. You remember that when we were learning law of contract, we said the parties involved in contract are the people involved in the contract are the parties. So agency is a relationship that involves two parties. One of the parties is called principal. The other party is called an agent. In agency, the relationship is said that the principal grants or gives the agent authority to act on his behalf in respect of either entering into contract. In other words, the agent will enter into contract on behalf of the principal, as I told you right from the beginning, or in disposition of goods. In other words, he wants to dispose of some goods, you want to sell some goods, you want to sell a house, you want to do ABC, the agent does it on his behalf. And what happens is that the principal who has given the agent authority to act on his behalf will pay or will give a reward to the agent, and that reward is called commission. So in agency, the reward, you see, when somebody employs you, you work, at the end of the month, the person pays you, and it is called salary. Some people also receive what you call wage. You are economic students, so you know what those things are. Your parents are working, and you know that at the end of the month they receive their rewards. In agency, the reward is not called wage. It is not called salary. It is called commission. And commissions are calculated on a certain percentage. So, for example, if the agent is going to sell a house on behalf of the principal, and the house is going to be sold at, let's say, 35 Ghana cedis, 35,000 Ghana cedis, then they may say that the agent will receive commission of 5%. That will be his reward. So when after he had sold the house, the principal will give him 5% of the 35,000. That will be 5 times 35, 350 times 5 will give us 0, 5, 15, 17. So in that case, if the commission was 5%, it means that after selling this house, then the agent will receive a commission of 1,750 Ghana cedis. Or they may say 10%. If it's 10%, then certainly times 2 of this one. So that is what agency is all about. It's a relationship that exists between two parties, where one of the parties called the principal gives or grants another party called the agent authority to enable the agent act on his behalf on matters concerning law. He may be an agent of sales, he may be selling on his behalf, he may also go and contract on behalf of the principal. So you see, two things are very important in agency. Number one, authority. The authority of the principal, or the authority that the principal grants to the agent, is very, very important in agency. In other words, if somebody has not granted you that authority, you cannot act on behalf of that person. Then, the principal consent is also very important in agency. So these two concepts, authority and consent, are very important. If you don't have the principal consent, you may not be able to act on his behalf. But you see, as you move forward, we may know that at certain point in time, consent may not be necessary in agency. When we come to creation of agency, we shall look at it. Authority and consent may not be necessary all the time. They may not be necessary all the time. Don't forget that we have already learned law of contract and we know the forms a contract may take. So agency too is a contract. So it may be oral, they may be written, or it may be by deed, and we shall look at all those things. So in a nutshell, that is what agency is all about. We shall end with this video here and then continue on another one on types of agents. Thank you.